Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Let's start our today's session. So, in our last session, we have discussed about the different types of selectors, right? So, there are many types of selectors we have, and with the use of selectors, you can reach to the specific element, right? And you can provide the styling to that particular element, right? So, that is the purpose of selectors. Okay, so now actually today we are going to start with the box model. So here you can see that this is the general picture of a box model. So box model is here in this figure. You can see this is the particular content area. So this is your content area. This is the total height and total width of your screen, right? Then after the content area to the border, it is known as the padding. Okay, and this is your border around the content, right? And apart from the border to the main you can say screen, this is known as the margin, right? So this is the margin area. So this you have to understand, right? Whenever you are putting content onto the web page, okay, so you have to decide actually where you want to put the content, right? And if you have figured out very carefully these particular properties, then and then you can put the content to the specific place, right? So this is known as the box model. I have also put a detailed layout of the box model over here. You can see that. Okay, so here it is different properties. So now we are going to learn a different properties related to each and every thing. So for the border, we are going to see, so border top, this is known as the border bottom, this is known as the border left, and this is known as the border right, right? So similarly, it is applicable to margin, it is applicable to padding, right? So if only I want to deal with the bottom border, so I can only choose that specific property. So for that border bottom property, I need to select, right? So similarly, you can see in this picture that around the content area, we are also going to deal with lots of things. Okay. And to maintain or to provide the perfect property, a proper property values, we can make your content very readable, right? So now let's go for one by one. Each and every property we are going to talk about in our journey of this box model. So first of all, we are going to deal with the CSS background, right? So suppose I want to make some changes related to background. So in earlier HTML, we have already discussed that if you want to change the background of a body and all that stuff, right? So we are going to use background property, right? But here you are going to deal with a different other properties, right? So what are the properties available for the backgrounds? So here you can see color, that is set the background color. Image, if I want to put some gradient image, suppose if I want to put my logo behind that, right? So that kind of images I can put. Repeat, okay. So for the repeat, there are 4 values we have. One is repeat, that is default, no repeat, repeat X, and repeat Y. Here is the Y, right? So you can also repeat the image in a X direction, Y direction, okay? And default is a repeat. So I will show you one program related with the repeat. So you will get the idea that how this particular thing will work, okay? After that position, so position you all know, I can set a position for the various, you can say background images and all that. There are different ways to set the positions. Either you can put these values like left top, center top, pixels, percentage, right? So these are the different ways of defining the position for the background images. Next important thing is the attachment, right? So what is the meaning of attachment? That somehow, somewhere you have observed that whenever you are moving, you are scrolling up and down, right? So sometimes only the upper area, suppose say for text is there. So only text is moving, background image is fixed. sometimes if you have observed that whenever you are scrolling, so with the text, background image is also moving, right? So for that, different properties we have. So one is a scroll, another one is a fixed. So when you set the scroll property, so with the upper content, your background image is also moving. But whenever you set the fixed property, then only the upper content is moving, background image is fixed, right? So that also effects you can make. Another one is the size, right? So here auto is the default, then cover, contains, and these are the introduced the in CSS3, right? So these two property related with the background are introduced in a CSS3. Another one is the origin. So padding box. So we have also discussed in our first slide that what is padding. Content box, that also we have discussed, and a border box, that also we have discussed, right? So up to where you want to stretch your content, right? Main content. So that you can define with the use of this origin property, right? So these are the different properties related with the background. Here you can see, guys, right? Now, suppose, let's see one by one how you can set that. So very common styling is there, very common syntax is there to use every property. So you need to remember only one thing, right? So what that thing is, we have already discussed the selectors. So you have to first of all provide the selectors. So here body is our selector, then here the brackets, and in between the brackets, you have to provide the property. So suppose here, for example, I have given that background color, background dash color. So here you can see one notification, one thing you have to note that background is a common word because we are dealing with the background property. So if you have observed in our previous slide with the properties, then background is a common word. After that, you have to put a dash. Now, suppose if I want to change the color, so I just change this. I want to put the image, then I just change this. And if I want to put something related with that, then I origin, right? So after dash, you have to provide the specific property, right? Up to background dash, it is common for everyone. Now, after that, you have to put the colon and you have to provide the value. You have to provide the value. That's it, guys. This particular syntax you have to remember throughout all the box model properties, throughout the CSS actually, right? So whenever you are dealing with the box model properties, so the prefix is common up to the dash in most of the properties, right? And after that, there is a specific property you have to set. Okay, so this is for the color. You can define color in a 3 different ways. So we have seen all these 3. Either you can go for the direct name, RGB value, and hex. So here R, G, and B, right? Red, green, and blue. So that combination makes the color. So that you have to provide. Okay. Now, here is the example I have put with the different selectors, right? Now, background image. So for background image, what you need to do over here, that for the background image, the background dash is a common thing again. Image is our property and URL. This is the URL. And here you have to provide the path. Fully qualified path you have to provide, right? So right now this paper.gif is in my default folder so that I can put that. Otherwise, you have to put the fully qualified path over there, right? So this way you can set a particular background image. Next, okay, now it's a repeat. So a repeat means, suppose say for example, let me tell you that this is my one image. This is my image. This is my gradient color image. Now this is my screen. So I want to put this particular image in my screen. So I can put it like this. Suppose, for example, imagine this is my screen. Okay. Now the next thing is what I want to do. I want to repeat it horizontally. So you can repeat it in a two direction. One is a horizontal, another one is the vertical, right? So this particular image will be horizontally repeated. Okay, right? So similarly, you can repeat this particular image in a vertical direction. So now what you understand from this, that this is the image. This one strip is one image. But whenever I make a repeat horizontally, then it will occupy entire screen in a horizontal direction. Similarly, if I go for vertical repetition, then again it will repeat the particular image on entire screen, right? So you can see you don't require the image with particular screen size. If you have this much portion, then also you can make a repeat and you can create a background, right? So this is the meaning of repeat. So here you can see that there are four possible values we have. First is a repeat, that is our default one. Whenever you put a repeat, then it will repeat your image vertically as well as horizontally. If you want a specific direction repetition, then you can go for repeat X, repeat Y. If you don't want to repeat actual size of image, if you want to display in a background, then you just go for the no repeat option, right? So these are the particular repeat background properties. So here you can see how you can use that. So first of all, what you require a background image, right? And with that particular background image, what I want to do, I want to repeat in a horizontal axis. I want to repeat in a horizontal axis. So first of all, you have to have one image. And for this image, I want to make it horizontal. Suppose if I want to make it vertical, then repeat Y I can push. Okay. So this property is related with the repeat property. Now this is another interesting property that is known as the attachment, right? So as I told you that there are two possible values. One is the scroll, another one is the fixed. Third one is the inherit value, but that we are not going to use, but that is there. So what is the difference between these two? That scroll. So as I told you that whenever you set the scroll property, then the background image is fixed, right? And no, background image and upper content, that is text, both are going to move. But whenever you have set as a fixed, then background image is fixed and only upper values are going to move. So I will show you one demo example once I finish this theory portion, right? And these are the possible values for the position. Again, it is very easy to remember: left top center bottom, right top center bottom, and center top center bottom, right? So again, this is very easy to remember, and according to the position you can set your background image. There are possible ways of this. You can use percentage one, you can use pixels, right? Okay. Next property is background size, right? So background size, so for the background size, it allows to change the size of a background image, right? So now if I have image and instead of repeat and all that, when you repeat, then it will contain the whole area. When you make a repeat, then it contains the whole area, right? But suppose if up to a certain point I want to make it, I want to do that, right? So I can adjust the size of that particular image. So it provides the background size of an image in a pixel, percentage, cover, and contain. Okay, right? So what is the meaning of cover and contain? So on x-axis, image will cover a full width, that is the horizontal size, and the height will be adjusted automatically, right? Similarly, for the contain, so it's a contain auto. If I said, then it select the image in x-axis with aspect ratios, right? So here there are some aspect ratio concept that will be there. So according to that, gem ratio, if you aware of that, right? So 1 gem 3 and all that aspect ratios. So according to that, that is for if you have observed that aspect ratio means whenever you are opening any video in a VLC, then there will be 16 gem 9 and all that, right? So according to that, it will provide the particular size. Okay. What is the background origin property? So background origin property is a specified background area for the background image, right? So as we know that it contains the border box, it contains the content box, and it contains the padding box. So all these box we have observed in our first of all box model. So I told you that first of all you have to understand compulsory that box model, then and then you will get the idea of all this, right? So according to that, it will set the size of your background image. So up to the age of border, up to the age of padding, up to the age of content, up to where you want to set the particular size. So that will be defined. That will be defined with the origin property, right? So I'm not going to discuss each and every property over here, right? So for the example purpose, I will just cover up the important one. So you can see over here, right? So first of all, let me introduce you with the scroll property. That is the interesting one. Other properties you can imagine very easily. Okay, so let me go for that. Okay, so I hope this particular thing is visible to everyone. Okay, now here in this program, what you can observe that, right? So first of all, we have HTML document, head and section, all that we have already discussed. Now just focus on CSS part. So for the body, I want to set the background image. So what is the rule we provide? URL we have to provide. That's it, guys, right? So 1.jpg, that is one image I have. Okay. Now here I'm using a background attachment. I'm showing you the background attachment demo, right? So please focus carefully over here. So right now I have used the fixed over here. So what happens? See, so whenever I execute this code, okay, now, yes, you can see that here is the text and here is the background image is there. So whenever I scroll, see, whenever I scroll, only my text is moving, background image is fixed, right? So this kind of effect, if you want to put, then you can put with the use of this attachment property. Now suppose for example, if I put a comment over here, right? If I put a comment over here and I remove this, and what I did over here that I just changed the scroll property. So what is the meaning of scroll over here? So if I run this code, now if I moving this particular, if I scrolling, so with my text, my image is also moving. See, my image is also moving. This is the particular difference between fixed and scroll, right? So this is the background attachment property. Okay, right? Now let me show you one another demo for repeat, so you will get the idea. Suppose say for example, okay, this is one another demo. So only focus on this style. So one background image I have. So this is my gradient image, right? And I am using no repeat over here. Okay, so this is by default. By default is a repeat, but I don't want to repeat. So I want original size. So what I need to do, I just run this and you can see, you can observe over here, this is a grace image is there. So up to this, this is the image. Only the original size of this image is like this, right? But what I want this gradient color on my entire screen, horizontally as well as vertically. So what change I need to make over here, just I want to go for repeat, and I just over here, and you can see. Why this happens? Because up to this is the original height of the particular image. So you can see it provides the repetition in horizontal as well as vertical, right? So the image size is very small up to this only. That's why it looks like this. So again, this is not my desired output. So what I can do, I can just go for repeat X. So now what it will do, it will spread over the entire screen. You can see now it looks better. Now it looks better. So it is horizontally repeated. You can see over here, guys. It looks perfect, right? Similarly, according to our images like that, then you will not notice any much difference. But if you want to repeat it in a Y direction, then you just put repeat Y and just do this. So it will repeat in Y direction. You can see that. This is our image size. Actual size of the image is like this. From this here it repeating. From this here again it repeating like this. So for this particular image, it prefers repeat X only. You can see that, right? So according to this, you can just put the particular property values and you can apply the style for that, right? So another one is a very easy, guys, for the, you can say position, right? For the background color is, you can set, you can just observe the output like this. Okay, so it is very easy, guys, right? So this is all about the particular background property. Okay, right? So now shall we move ahead? Is there any doubt up to this, anyone, guys? How to use background property?
No, sir, no doubt.
Okay, so let's go for another one. So this is all about related with the background. Now we go for, okay, one point I want to discuss over here. This is known as the shorthand property, right? So what is the meaning of shorthand property? So instead of defining individual properties by putting semicolon, what I want to do, I want to set this particular background color. When I choose color, I don't prefer image, but the example purpose I have put over here, no repeat, right top. So here, how many properties I have used? One is the color property. Another one is the image property. One is the repeat property. And another one is the position property, right? So what you can do, you can make a combination of all the properties in a single line that is known as the shorthand property. Okay, so you can define individually like this, or you can do this. But remember one thing, whenever you just use a shorthand property, then you have to put a prefix only. This is the prefix. You can see that. This is the prefix. Okay. Dash પછી તમે જે use કરો છો, all that you have to write over here by providing space. So this is known as the shorthand property, and this is applicable to each and every property, right? If you want to go for border, margin, padding, it is applicable to everywhere. Okay, guys. Now next, here I have put that. Okay, now let's discuss some of the properties related with the text. Okay, so suppose I want to make text alignment. I want to see here each and everything is named according to the functionality. So here you can see alignment. So I want to make a text alignment, text indent, text decoration, text transform, right? Word breaks, word spacing, letter spacing. So all these things, if all these effects I want to provide. Okay, so for that these particular properties are used. So now let's discuss one by one, so how you can use it and what are the possible values we have. Okay, guys. Now if we talk about first text align property, so there are four possible values we have. One is a left, right, center, and justified. This is whatever you are doing in a word itself, right? So these are the four possible properties we have. Okay. Suppose if I want to set this, so here now I have decided that to run each and every code. Here I have put the style and the output like this, right? So if you put this code in your HTML portion, then it will display the output like this. So here you can see that one class we have for left, one class we have for center, and one class we have for right. So now you can also observe that here we have used class because we have used class attribute, and we have used class attribute. So we have to go for dot notification, and class name you have to provide over here. Okay. And then you can provide the property and value, right? So first I want to make alignment to the left side. So this is my left align, this is center, and this is my right align. Okay, guys. So this is very simple, and this will be very useful whenever you are dealing with the articles and all that stuff, right? Text, especially for the text. Next thing is indent property. So we all know what is the meaning of indent. So let's go for, so here indentation will be in a both direction. You can see in a both way. One is a positive direction, and another one is the negative direction, right? So you can see over here that in this example, you can understand here what we have three indentations. So here you can see that the text indent, this particular line is 100 pixel indentation. So here what we did, text indent 100 pixel, and the color is equal to red. Now let's come for the second one. This is text indent 200 pixel, color equal to blue. And you can see you can also provide the negative, but negative માં શું થશે? This will go beyond this, so it will overflow that, right? So whenever you put a -1, then it affects like this. Okay, but sometimes it is required, so that also provision we have. You can provide negative index, negative pixel values, right? So this is about the text indent. Next is the decoration. So this also we are going to provide with the word. So overline, underline, line through, and none. Solid, dash, dotted, and double. So you can see these are the different text decoration styles we have, right? You can also provide the different color for that, black, red, and blue. So let's see this. One small example I have put over here, that this is the example for overline, underline, line through, and none. Text decoration, none. So suppose if I ask you one question that how I can create a link without underline, right? So in Viva, this kind of question may be asked. So by normal, by default, what happens whenever you define anchor tag, then by default it is comes with the underline. But suppose I don't want to put underline and I want to define a link without underline. So what I need to do, I just need to make its text decoration property none. Text decoration property none. Are we clear, guys? Right? So this is for the text decoration. Capitalize, text transform, next property, lowercase, uppercase. So you can see over here, these are the text transform properties. Now let's go for a word break, right? So for the word break, default value is normal, and another value is a break off. So how it looks like? So by seeing example, you can see that. Okay, see this example. Try to understand this. We have two divisions, first and second. So What is the meaning of division? So division is a virtually you can understand this is a division. Suppose say for guess, right? Now I am defining this particular text in this division. So what happens? Normal division style, it is for a normal. So this is one a normal. So what it happens? It goes beyond the division. So this particular text will go beyond this. Okay. Because what I did, I have fixed the size of division with the 40 pixel. So this is my division. This is my 40 pixel division. Okay. The size of this is 40 pixel, but the length of this text is goes beyond. So this is normal. But suppose if I want to make a word break, okay, by after 40 pixel, instead of overflowing, it should go below, right? So what I need to do that, I just need to use break all. I just need to use break all. So this is again important property, guys. Whenever you do the text formatting, right? So you can, I hope you understand this, right? So this way you can provide the word breaks. You can provide the word breaks. And next one is a word spacing. So here you can see that it will decide the space between two words, 0 pixel, 25 pixel, and 50 pixels. So the space between two words can be defined like this by providing word dash spacing property. And the last one is the letter spacing, right? So instead of word, I just want to put a space between letters. So I can just go for letter spacing property like this. I hope everything is clear to everyone up to this. Is there any doubt up to this, anyone?